I haven't ranted before. Actually, that's not true. I haven't ranted in public before. Actually, that's not true either. I haven't ranted sober before in public. Feel free to heckle. Please don't throw anything. And I'm happy if any issues I bring up as a farmer, if you want to discuss it further, then I'll be running out the gate really quickly. No, I'll be sat on the bank over there. And we have got the lambing simulator, which is over in the Food Academy tent. So if anybody hasn't had a go at lambing before and wants to, then please come and join us there. Okay, so I'd like to just rant a little bit. I'll try not to go on too much. On behalf of farmers, particularly Monmouthshire farmers, who are probably, I mean, I'm slightly biased, but the best farmers in the world. Now, we get a lot of stick as farmers, particularly from the environmental press. So I'm often watching on wildlife programmes and in the news how we are killing the countryside, how we're killing off the wildlife. And I'd like to speak up in defence of the farmers. So first of all, I'll tell you a little bit about our farm. It's not organic. We are a conventional beef and sheep farm in Monmouthshire, as many farms are in Monmouthshire. We have got skylarks. We have got a vast majority of red-listed birds, sorry. We keep bees, we keep honeybees. We've also got wild honeybees and solitary bees. We've got otters. We have an otter cam online. If anybody's interested in watching otters, then feel free to do that. And we've got a river running through our farm, and we regularly test it. It's full of invertebrates, it's full of brown trout, and it's a healthy river. And we were extremely excited this year to win an award, a highly commended award from the RSPB Telegraph Nature of Farming Award. And again, I will stress that we're not an organic farm. We are a regular farm in Monmouthshire. Now, I think farmers have got a hard job to do. Not only have they got to feed a growing population, and I don't know if you're aware of how many people now live in the UK, 64 million people are requiring food. And on top of that, so many people say that obviously it's providing the food. They also need somewhere to live. So that if farms disappeared, if the rural community disappeared, don't think that that land is then going to turn back to some sort of nature reserve. It doesn't happen like that. We do need places to build as well. And I'd like to stress that we have got a man-made ecosystem, whether we like it or not. We've got wildflower meadows preserved by farmers. We've got hedgerows. If you drive around Monmouthshire, you hear constantly about farmers ripping out the hedgerows. Have a look at the hedgerows. Who plants the hedgerows? Who manages the hedgerows? Who creates the ponds? Who creates the habitats for the wildlife we've got at the moment? It's the farmers. It's the British farmers. So please support the farmers. I'd also like to say, just reverting back to the fact that we have got a man-made ecosystem, it needs managing. Don't forget that there are certain species of wildlife that are increasing, and in turn that also has effect on other wildlife. So when I hear that the hare is declining and we need to do something about that, don't solely point the finger at farmers. Just remember that we have got an increasing number of buzzards, and I love buzzards, but one of their favourite diets is leverets, baby hares. We've got an increasing population of foxes. We've got a lot of urban foxes that are now neutered and released into the countryside. They also like leverets. If an animal hasn't got a natural predator and the number increases and we don't do anything about it, we will have problems. Badgers compete with hedgehogs. They also eat hedgehogs. Hedgehog numbers are declining. Now, the other thing you can do about hedgehogs, with my wildlife hat on, is that the other reason that hedgehogs are actually dropping in number is they need at least a mile at night to walk about and find their foods. Whether you live in a town or a city, the urban gardens are becoming closed off. Hedgehogs need to move from garden to garden. There's a simple way of doing this. You make a little hole in your fence or in your wall or whatever you've got, just to allow a hedgehog to pass through. Not a dog, not a cat, hedgehog size. And you'll be doing your bit to increase the hedgehog population. I'd also just like to say, ramblers. I do ramble on. I'll try not to do too much today. Please feel free to cut me off at any stage. I like walking. I like rambling. Just remember that public footpaths, we have got pretty much every single field on our farm has a path, and we're happy for that. We're happy for people to come walking through. Please, if you've got a dog, can you keep it on a lead? There is a reason for that, especially at lambing time. We have seen the damage that dogs can do. You might think that you've got a well-behaved dog. If you've got two dogs together chasing the sheep, they can actually kill the lambs. They can certainly stress a sheep enough at lambing time to abort. So please keep your dogs on a lead. And also, if you're coming through, we've got stiles. If there's a fence and a stile, if you can please maybe manage to lift your dog over the stile and not cut a hole in the fence. It happens. Walkers come through. If you've cut a hole in the fence big enough for a dog to come through, then obviously the lambs and the sheep can also walk through. And obviously that causes problems. Gates, right, okay, gates. So if a gate is closed as you walk through, please close it afterwards. But again, on the other side of the coin, if a gate is left open, it's probably open for a reason. So please leave the gate open. Farmers are friendly, and I'd say 99% of walkers are absolutely brilliant. So I may well be preaching to the converted, but you do get the odd ones that come through, let the dogs run around and leave the gates open. It's a nightmare. Now, I'd just like to put another hat on and talk about parasites. And I'm sure you're all very good cat and dog owners, and you worm your cats and you worm your dogs. There's a really good reason for this. There's a parasite that sheep can get, and at lambing time, it causes problems in sheep. It's what we call zoonotic. It can be passed to humans and can cause problems in an unborn fetus. So if you're pregnant, you stay away from the lambing sheds. Now, this can also be contracted from your cats, ladies and gentlemen. It's carried in cat litter. Now, one of the things you can do to prevent this is obviously worm your dogs and cats regularly. But I am also involved with the Welsh Marine Life Rescue. And one of the problems is that the marine mammals out at sea have now contracted toxoplasmosis. And the reason for that is because people are putting their cat litter down the toilet, which is then going into the sewers and out to sea. So this nasty parasite is now affecting the marine mammals. So please don't put your cat litter down the toilet. Just go on a little bit about reiterating what Claire said earlier, and I'm in full agreement with what she said. Don't go importing fancy food. We've got some fantastic products here in the UK. Shop local, talk to local producers, go to your local butchers if you can. Obviously, Beavan Family Butchers, Hillcrest Road, Abergavenny is really good, but other butchers are available. If you can't shop local, then go to the supermarket, look for, and it is National Red Tractor Week, look for the red tractor, look for the symbol. The UK has got the best welfare standards in the world, so that you know if you're buying from farmers in the UK, then the welfare standards has been pretty high. So again, please support your British farmers, but also go back to real food. I hear people say that they haven't got time, they've got to get a takeaway or a microwave meal. That's so not true. Get a slow cooker, put all the ingredients in the morning, switch it on, go to work, come back, job done. It's really easy. Get a bag of spuds, get a box of minced meat, you've got a shepherd's pie, make a big one, chop it up, put it in the freezer. You've got your ready meals, but they're a lot more healthier than getting those, processed rubbish. What am I going on about now? Oh, yeah. Real cider. Okay, we do run courses, katescountryschool.co.uk. We also run cider courses. Now, real cider, I'm talking you don't add water, you don't add sugar, you don't add yeast. All we do is put the cider in the barrels. They get on with it themselves. I mean, our cider house is 17th century. It's got a lot of natural yeast there. And it's good for you. Real cider is part of your 5 a day. So you can enjoy your real cider over there in the bar. And remember, you're getting your vitamins as well. Really good for you. Now, I have heard, I don't know if it's been scientifically proven, that it also burns off fat. So don't drink any of those other drinks. You'll notice Strongbow cans, you won't see cider written on the cans. There is a reason for that. Not enough apples. Oh, rural community. Am I going on too long? Okay, sorry, I'm getting speeded up. Okay, rural community. Go and see your neighbours. Even if you're not living in the countryside, we're pretty good with rural community. If you live in the city, you live in the town, don't ignore your neighbours. It took the snow for a lot of people to get involved with their neighbours and help each other. We shouldn't need a major incident to do that. Just, you know, be friendly, pop round. A stranger is just a friend you haven't met. I'm being speeded up here, so I'm going to have to go. The bottom line is, support your local farmers. We're also too clinically clean. Go out there, roll in the mud, climb a tree, and go out in the sunshine because it prevents rickets. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.